for you guys today as we have the first installment of our recruiting biz with Coach Ris. Make sure I got this turned down. All right, we're tuned in live and in effect right here on my channel, Big Dog Chico channel, on Coach Riz's channel. Check them out at Devin Rispress on YouTube and Twitter as Coach Too Blessed, as you'll see it right up there. We got some topics to go over with you guys today. So make sure you get in the comments and join this conversation. It's not just a chat with us, myself, and Coach Ris, but this is a chat to include all of you guys out there. Coach Ris, how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. I can't complain.
Good, man. I'm glad we can do this and start doing this every week and provide some insight into the recruiting world for all of those out there. So let them know a little bit about yourself just in case they might not know.
Say it again, Chico. You kind of break it up. It might be my connection. I'm not sure.
Okay, can you hear me now? Am I good out there?
I hear you.
Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me pretty good out there. Let me know about the sound. But I was going to say, yeah, Coach, let them know a little bit about yourself before we get into the recruiting breakdown.
Okay. Well, I'm Devin Rispress. I'm the Assistant Director of Player Personnel at the University of Colorado. With the podcast here, I'm not really here to talk about Colorado football and recruiting, but just recruiting in general to try to help out parents, high school coaches, and athletes.
Exactly. And that's why you guys might see the red here, not so much black and gold, because this is for all recruits out there. Anybody who's checking in, whatever sport you're checking in, this is for you guys. So get in the comments right now, ask the questions. But we do have some topics to cover until we get all your questions coming in. Y'all can check out these topics right here that we'll go over. Am I being recruited? National letter of intent. What is that? My highlight film. What do I do? Where do I send it? And how do I produce it? Where should I upload it? What can parents do to help out the recruiting process for their student athlete? Academics, how important is academics and what role do they play? Summer camps. Should we go to summer camps? Do's and don'ts. Then we have Coach Riz's recruiting one-on-one, and we'll get to your chat comments and questions. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And we are looking for ads and sponsorships out there. We have opportunities available. You can hit me up on the email, and I'll handle all of that for us. Or you can send a text sponsor to 808-393-8132, and we'll be able to respond back to you with the quickness. All right, let's get right into it, man. With our first topic, Coach Ris, we'll go to let's see, probably one of my favorites. We're going to go to the highlight film advice. We see a lot of guys, and you got a lot of different outlets out there nowadays with the huddles and stuff where guys can produce and upload their highlight film. But as a recruiter, what are you looking for on a highlight film? Does quality matter? The length matter? Music matter? Presentation matter? Tell us, what are you looking at from a recruiter's point of view when observing and evaluating some of these kids' highlight films?
Well, I'll start off by saying, this is for the high school coaches. Make sure that your film is good quality. If the film is not good quality, a college coach may not spend a lot of time on it. Also, try to have more than one view. So you might have the sideline view, you might have a view from the back. That helps also because different positions we like to look at from different views. For high school recruits, one thing that turns college coaches off is music on the highlight tape. So, I mean, we know you guys like Kodak Black and all these young guys, Boss Man, D-Lo, and all these guys, man. But we don't care to hear that music while we're trying to watch your film. So, especially music with a lot of profanity in it. This is just not a good look. Um, but as far as your highlight tape, we're not going to watch 10 minutes of highlights. So your highlight tape should be 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And be sure to put your best plays first. Your best plays must come first, so that you can keep coaches entertained. If
Right.
a coach is not entertained, they probably won't watch it for a very long time because we have so many films to watch. So make sure you put your best plays first, and everything else should be fine.
There you go. I like what Coach Ris said right there. Put your best plays first, and and put your best plays first. That way, because you got to look at it like this: if I have a bunch of different highlights to go through, and I get to yours, I don't have time to watch 10 minutes, 5 minutes, sometimes even 3 minutes. I want to see the first three plays at some point to where I can judge this guy off there and see whether I want to continue watching this highlight film. Do I want to, recommend it to someone, show it to the head coach or whatever? But the point is, you want those plays to be first. It's just like if you're sending your music to a radio station or to a record exec or something like that, right? You got to catch that eye quick. You got to catch that ear quick, should I say, by putting your best foot forward right there. So if I'm making a highlight tape, I'm going to have an introduction on there with maybe I'm not really worried about music, but maybe with some stats or my information that says my name, where I come from, my size, my height, weight, school, GPA, things of that nature, to where um, they can see that and know exactly what it is when they're watching it from the get go. So when the highlight film come on, if you can see my name, BiggDogg Chico, 6'2", 386 pounds, whatever, 3.0 GPA, this high school, I'm from this place, and so on. So as soon as the coach turns on your highlight film, they'll know who they're watching and what's to come. So that's the highlight film advice. Y'all check that out. Anything else you wanted to add on that, Coach Riz?
Pretty much, I think I hit on. Pretty much, I think I hit on everything. I think those are the most important things when it comes to formulating the highlight tape.
There you go. All right, let's move to the next topic. You guys got any questions on that? Let us know in the chats. What is a national letter of intent, to be exact, Coach?
A national letter of intent is a contract. Um, it's a contract, and it's very seldom that you're let out of them. The only way that you're able to get out of a letter of intent is, your the college coach that you signed the letter of intent with will let you out, and also the athletic department. But it's pretty much a contract where you're committing to playing at that university or that college.
Exactly. NLI, not an NIL. Don't get it confused. National letter of intent is a binding agreement, a contract, like Coach said, between a prospective student athlete and an NLI member institution. So it's the letter that goes out. It's that signing of the contract. Just like if it was a professional league, it'll be that contract signing. With the NLI, National Letter of Intent, that's them signing this national letter of intent that I'm going to this school and I have intentions of being there. So, for anybody has any questions, there you go. Um, as we have more right now, what does it mean when you are being recruited? When you're recruited, how can a student athlete, tell the difference from just being kind of, courted or ask some questions as opposed to you're actually being recruited now? How can I tell that if I'm a student athlete?
Some kids, some kids may not know that they're being recruited because the process just hasn't heated up yet. But coaches are gathering their information on a student athlete, whether it's watching the film or obtaining uh, transcripts and different stuff of that nature. But most times when you are actually being recruited, the college coaches will reach out to you versus you reaching out to them and trying to get their attention. But most coaches, when you're being recruited, because you know you have goods that they need, so obviously they're after you. So I always relate recruiting to relationships and girlfriends. So when you when you see a girl that you like and you really want to pursue her, you'll spend more time communicating with her or trying to get in contact with her versus her trying to get in contact with you. So I think that's one of my things I compare it to relationships and women also.
Hey, honestly, honestly, that's a great comparison analogy right there. Because you can tell you're being recruited by how they're courting you. Real quick question: Chico always got stories and stuff, but real quick story. I was being recruited by Southern Miss University down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I really didn't want to go to Mississippi to go to school for whatever reason, but Southern Miss really wanted me. They were recruiting me really hard. The coach eventually called me and said, "Hey, son, can we come pick you up from your home and we'll drive you down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi? You know, we just want you to see the campus. Don't miss out on this opportunity." They were definitely recruiting me hard. Letters you get in the mail from this back in the day. Letters you get in the mail that lets you know that these coaches are really trying to recruit you. We got questions coming in also. I'm making sure I start all of these questions to make sure I get them read. Any super chat questions, put them in the comments right now. You can super chat, you can donate, whatever you want to get your question read, guaranteed. And we got a question right here from Travis. Let me see. Travis Dixon, right here. And we're going to say, sir, I got a question. Does height attract coaches like a I want him type thing? Does height really attract coaches? Is what he's saying. I'm thinking if I can answer this, I'm thinking for certain positions, and Coach Ris kind of hit on this on the last show when he said height really don't matter if you got it. If you're a dog, if you're showing everything on film, you know height won't matter as much. But answer that question right there for us, Coach.
It really depends on the position, to be honest. There are certain positions that you can get away with being shorter. Offensive line is not one of those positions. Really, it really depends on what the coach is looking for. If you are a shorter offensive lineman, you have to have long limbs, long arms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at wide receiver, you can be a short wide receiver if you're dynamic. I mean, just look at Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and some of those explosive guys that got away with not being, very tall. Running back is another position that you don't have to be very tall at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, but there are key positions where you're going to need some height, and if you don't have it, you're going to have to be a dynamic player. When I say dynamic, you're going to have to be a guy that, no matter how big you are, coach cannot turn you down.
Yeah,
Also, if you're smaller, you're going to have speed, a lot of speed, a lot of agility. So you can't get away with being a smaller guy, but if you are going to be a smaller guy, you have to be dynamic. And when I say dynamic, I mean when coach cut that film on, they say, "Man, I don't care how tall he is, I have to have him."
got to have them. Let me ask you this question. You said except for offensive line. Can you expand on that? Why would being a shorter offensive lineman kind of work against you as opposed to being a taller offensive lineman? And is there a minimum type height that you would kind of look for as an offensive lineman from an offensive lineman?
Well, I won't just say offensive line. I mean defensive line also. Those two positions where
You
they're
you want
they're very they're competing against each other. And if a defensive lineman is 6'5", an offensive lineman is 6 foot. I'm not saying that there's no 6 foot offensive lineman that can win the battle, because there are some dogs out there that can win those battles. But when you talk about a 6'5" guy versus a 6 foot guy, we talk about arm length also. And most time that 6'5" guy is going to have a longer arm length than a 6 foot guy. So when that guy, when he locks you out, you
yeah,
won't be able to get into him to be able to fight him off.
yeah,
So those are just two of the positions that you know coaches look at the height and the length of arms and the hand size and different stuff like that. They look at those things real in depth when it comes to those two positions.
Yes, and to hit on that one time, you have a defensive lineman on the Colorado Buffs team, 5'11", Chidozie Nwankwo. But what does he have that you just potted out right there? Longer arms. He has the reach of a 6'4" guy, right? But
Right.
he's 5'11", 295. And if you're going to be a shorter guy, you're going to need to be dynamic. And dynamic in terms of a defensive lineman, I would say, would be explosive, very strong, quickness, lateral movement, and very, very tough up that middle. And I think that's what Chidozie Nwankwo is showcasing in that 5'11", 295, 300-pound frame. Those long arms and that nastiness about him. So I hope we answered that question right there for you, Travis. I saw another question said, should they get a there it is. Should we get a personal videographer or a professional videographer for these guys? I know a lot of people can't afford professional videographers or might not even know anyone, to be able to have the skills to film you or even be dedicated enough to film you. What can people do or students do, athletes do to get film on them if maybe their team is not filming?
It's kind of hard to. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a personal videographer. There's a lot that you can do with that with that footage. You can study it yourself at home. Sometimes high school programs they don't put their highlights or put their game film up until later on in the week. But if you were trying to get ahead and try to work on some things that you may have not been very good at that the week before, you can study that film. But it's kind of hard to. There's certain systems that high schools use to make highlight tapes and upload it into their accounts, in which one is Huddle. And I think the other one is Quick Cut or something like that. So they use those systems for a reason, because it's fairly easy to make those highlight tapes and be able to provide them to colleges. But I've seen people with personal videographers, and it can be a good thing.
Exactly. Yep. So that's what it is. When you're being recruited, you shall know. But have your stuff ready, and that goes right into our next one as far as academics go. And we see a young athlete in the chat right now saying that he makes A's and B's, and he's looking for. He has some questions, but Coach, what are the importance of academics in young athletes? You know, I know they used to have a thing called a clearinghouse. I'm not even sure if they still have that nowadays, but I think they did away with like ACT scores and stuff like that. What's the news on these academics, and how important are academics, going into college?
Academics is the most important thing. It's the most important. I mean, as a college coach, as a recruiter, if if a kid struggles in high school, it's going to be hard for me to trust that he can handle the college workload. It's going to be hard. These scholarships are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on where you go to school at. So when we invest that money in a kid, we want to make sure that he'll be able to handle the college workload. There's a such thing in college football called APR, and the APR has killed a lot of football programs, and that's where if a certain amount of guys don't graduate, or if guys fail out of schools, teams are penalized for that, and they can be put on probation, and some even lose their programs. So as a college coach, you have to be sure that these guys that the kids that you're recruiting will be able to handle the college workload. So a lot of kids, they tend to, and I was one of them. I'm not going to say a lot of kids. I was one of them. I
Yeah.
took my ninth grade year for granted. I went into high school in ninth grade. I wanted to have fun, and that's what it was. But when you struggle as a ninth grader, it's hard to climb out of that hole. It's
Yeah.
hard, and there are a lot of things that there are a lot of different tools out here today versus when I was in school where you can go back and make up those classes. I know in Florida we had something called Florida Virtual School, and there are a lot of online sites that you can go make these classes up and replace those grades. But you don't have to. I mean, you don't want to be that guy that has to go back and replace certain credit hours.
Yeah.
So academics is very important. You spoke about the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse is still the clearinghouse. The only thing that has changed is for the clearinghouse, you don't need an ACT or SAT score. That's the
Gotcha.
only thing. But you still need to have a core GPA, in which the core GPA has dropped some, I think, to a 2.3. But to receive a scholarship from a college, you would have to be cleared by the NCAA clearinghouse.
Yes, definitely. So you got to have your grades and stuff together. Don't take high school for granted and just think because you can make a basket, you can score a goal, you can catch a touchdown pass or throw one that they're just going to let you, ease your way through because to be honest, a lot of depending on the schools you go to, you might run into a professor that never played sports, never been a sport um fan, always probably looked at athletes as being, privileged people. So you're going to have some people out there that might not be on your same squad, your same team, to look out for you. So you're going to have to do that work. You're going to have to put in the hours and dedicate yourself to academics the same way you dedicate yourself on the football field. And that's just a given, the way you do anything is the way you do all things, right? I think I heard say something like that. And you're gonna have to. You can't say I'm going to be a good player on the field, but don't take care of your academics. At some point, that's going to catch up to you, dog. And you're going to be saying, "I wish I had her." You know. So for those guys who might struggle in academics in high school, and aren't able to dig themselves out of that hole to go to that Division One or get cleared by the clearinghouse, they might end up having to go a route of JUCO. Coach, can you tell us about that JUCO route? Isn't that the route you took also?
No, I didn't take the JUCO route, but I was a guy, and I'm glad that I'm here on this platform. I was a guy, man. I was so talented to where I knew that no matter what I did in the classroom, I was going to college.
Yeah.
Um, and that was true. I did go to college, but it wasn't the schools that I should have went to. I don't, you know, I don't regret my path. I don't. But when I look back on it, if I would have took care of my academics, I could have been at Alabama. I could have been at Clemson. I could have been at some of these bigger schools because I held offers from them, but there was nothing they could do with me because I didn't take care of my academics.
Yep.
So when I took a when I stepped into the coaching game, I was big on academics, and that goes from my 7-on-7 that I ran, and even the high school that I was at, the high school that I coached at. It was about academics with me because I was sitting there myself as a guy who didn't take academics serious, and I missed out on a lot of a lot of opportunities. So I always preach to my guys that the better your academics, the more opportunity you have. We all
Yes.
know that. We all know that the portal has taken high school football by storm. It has changed the recruiting game for the worse. So a lot of guys that may have been FBS guys end up being FCS guys. A lot of guys that in a normal cycle, a normal cycle would have been FCS guys, ended up being Division 2 guys. A lot of guys that were Division 2 guys ended up being NAIA guys. You have to know, with the lower you drop down in divisions, the less scholarships that they have.
Hmm.
So Division 2 only has so many scholarships. NAIA doesn't have many scholarships at all. Some
Yeah.
some don't give out scholarships. So they depend on academic money, academic scholarships, along with your financial aid packaged together to be able to take care of school. So um, you just never know what the future holds. You may be a guy that has to depend on some kind of academic scholarship packaged along with a financial financial aid or with the academic scholarship. So Like I said, the better your academics, the more opportunities you have.
Right. Get your academics out there, young fellas. If you got A's and B's, that's good. Now you got to, stay on top of that and take care of your work on the field. Put in that extra work and take care of this right here too, because this is very important. This is going to be how people see you. Once your academics are straight, once your own field stuff is straight, you got your highlight film straight. Social media management, we could talk about, it goes back to what Coach Ris said. There's no need to have this, explicit music on your highlight tape. It's not something that the coaches want to hear anyway. Same thing on your social media. If you're putting highlights on your social media, there's no need to put, explicit lyrics on your content. If you're putting something on there to represent yourself, use the instrumental. You can have the same song, use the instrumental without the words. And also, if you're on social media, your picture, you're looking like, you're a rapper or something like that. You're looking like you're more of a that rather than this. That can hurt you. A coach can look past you just because of your image. So, coach, can you talk about that? Your social media management for these young guys, and I'll get to some of these questions in the comments also.
Your social media is is like a resume. Um, your social media and your film is a resume. So your social media reflects who you are. So if I go stroll Little Johnny's, and I say Little Johnny's a random name, but if I go scroll Little Johnny's social media, and all I see on his social media is fight videos, guys smoking, uh, a whole bunch of nonsense, guys shooting guns, and even Little Johnny holding guns in pictures. I guarantee you, he won't get recruited because I'm going to think that's your character.
Yep.
I'm going to think that's who you are as a person. So perception is a lot, says a lot. So guys, your social media should represent who you are. It should represent who you are. And a lot of guys have lost a lot of opportunities because of their social media. And you can't clean it up. You never know when a college coach is going to watch your social media. You never know when. You never know how far he'll go back in, in your social media. So just put good stuff out there. As far as Twitter goes, Twitter is the biggest platform for recruiting for all sports. So your Twitter page should consist of nothing but college coaches, other athletes, and things of that nature. You shouldn't be following the fight page or you know, no nonsense should be on there. It just shouldn't. And social media presence is big also. So if you're a college athlete, well, a high school athlete, and you're looking to get recruited, and you're not, and you don't have a social media presence, you can't be very serious about getting recruited. You should have your highlights posted on there. You should have workout videos. You should have uh, you can post your grades on their report card. I mean, college coaches, you may not see them liking or retweeting your stuff as much, but we can't like and we can't quote as a retweet. Now we can retweet and like, that's it, but we can't comment. Let me rephrase that. We can't comment. So even when college coaches don't comment or don't retweet or don't like, don't think they're not watching because they are. And also, a lot of college programs, they have a department of guys, and their job is to watch social medias. Their job is to watch social medias. And also for the parents out there, if I'm recruiting your child, I'm recruiting you also. So I may go dig in your social media also. I want to see what type of parents you have.
Big
And a lot
time.
of parents don't know that. But as college coaches, man, we're investing a lot of money in your kid. So of course we want to know everything we can about them. So guys, have a clean social media. Don't let social media be the reason that you miss out on an opportunity, because there are a lot of guys who have missed out on opportunities because of their social media.
Simple as that. You snitching on yourself. You telling on yourself. You hurting yourself. You shooting yourself in the foot by doing things like that, putting crazy stuff on your social media. Chris E said, "Get a burner account for ratchet things." At least if you're gonna do it, if you have to watch it, that might be a great tip. Get another account. But if you want to get,
Well,
you know, come on. But tell them, coach, you can get found on that page too, can't you?
man, look, college football recruiting, college football recruiters like the FBI.
Yep.
Man, if we want to find you or find something, we'll find it. So, guys, just don't indulge in those things. And I'm not asking anybody to be perfect because coming up, I wasn't perfect. I'm pretty sure Chico wasn't perfect. There are no perfect individuals. But when you're trying to obtain something, you're trying to achieve a certain goal, guys. You want to kind of condition your mind for that moment. Because I was always told, man, you are what you watch. You are what you hang around. So if you hang around trash long enough, you'll become trash. It, if you watch enough trash every day,
That's what your mind
you'll
is consumed with. You
you'll
know, that's
think that way. You'll
yeah.
think that way. So guys, just try to just stay away from the nonsense.
Stay away from the nonsense. I hope some parents are listening out there, fans, and whoever else listening, advisors to a young athlete, listen in. Share this with your young athlete. Get them on there. Make them listen to this and watch this. You know, you got a guy out there. You know he's talented, but you look at his social media page. It look like he want to be rapper number two, Lil Big Baby, whatever you want to call him. Let them watch this and hear it from Coach Ris himself, who's actively recruiting athletes for the University of Colorado right now and giving advice for any athlete out there who's looking to go play college sports on any level. This is what you need to do. What you hit on this a little bit, but what can parents do to help? This is huge right here. Parents, please listen in. What can you do to help? Y'all sitting back there like, well, it's him, it's his life. He do it. No, come on. What can you do to help? What can parents do to help, coach?
There's a lot parents can do to help. We talked about academics earlier, right? If your child is struggling in math, English, science, one of those subjects, get him a tutor because when he goes to college, he's gonna have tutors in college.
Yep.
So to try to help your kid to be college ready, they may need extra help. They just may need extra help. So um, use all the resources you can. Also, and I say this a lot, parents, and I think we're going to talk about this here in a little while. Parents, get your kids as much exposure as you can. So that means get them out to camps, um, get them extra training if you're looking for what you're looking for, and that's a college scholarship, because you're competing with kids across the country. You're not just competing with your high school. You're not
Right.
just competing with your city. You're not just competing with your state. You're competing with a whole country, and sometimes outside the country, depending on what sport it is. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, parents, and also parents. I'm gonna say this, and I'm big on this one. A lot of our kids, they wear, put it like this, they have expensive tastes and they don't have jobs. So the parents, they buy these things for their kids. I'm not against kids having nice things, but I am against kids having nice things, but parents don't want to take them to these camps or don't want to pay these fees to go to these camps or don't want to pay this training for a kid who's fighting for the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
Those Jordans that we wear, those True Religion jeans, those whatever expensive brand these kids are wearing, after they put them on one time, it depreciates. It depreciates. So um, invest in something that's going to benefit your child, and those things it may benefit. in their social life. It may get
Mm-hmm.
them a girlfriend. They may win the best dress award. But I know a lot of people who won the best dress award and didn't go to college because they didn't invest in anything else. So
Exactly.
there there are a lot of things you can do, parents. Um, and where I'm from, we tend to. I'm not gonna say we tend to, but some parents they don't really have. They're not really strict. Parents, there's nothing wrong with being strict.
Mm-hmm.
Be strict on your kids and don't let them run amok and do it whatever they want. Because when they go to college, they're going to go to college with that same behavior.
Yes,
With that
indeed.
same behavior, um, hold your kids accountable. Hold them accountable. Because college coaches are big on accountability. They're going to hold them accountable. If they're not used to being held accountable, when they go to college, it won't be good because they're going to be held accountable. They're going to be held accountable. So, parents, there are a lot of things that you can do to help your kids achieve their goal of getting a college scholarship. Just be firm on it, man. Whatever you're on, whatever they're chasing, be firm. Stay on their butt about those grades. Stay on their butt about their training. And it's crazy that you asked this question. I watched a video last week of this single mom.
Yeah.
She came home from work. She was still in her work clothes, still in her high heels, and she went outside and put her son. He was 8 years old. Put him through drills. Threw him the ball. So she's investing in her son as an 8 year old. She's coming home tired from work.
Mm-hmm.
So she's willing to sacrifice some of her rest, some of her downtime to ensure that her son is getting everything he needs to be successful. So parents, what are you willing to sacrifice? That's what
Mm-hmm.
it boils down to. What are
Mm-hmm.
you willing to sacrifice? I know for me personally, my mom worked two jobs at a time sometimes because she knew what I wanted. And she also knew that I loved the game of football. And not just football, but all sports. And where I'm from, either either you made it out of the neighborhood or you became a product of the neighborhood. And a lot of my friends ended up uh, in the streets. Some are still in the streets, and some end up dead also. So, um, what are you willing to sacrifice to help your kid achieve what they're trying to achieve?
I like that. What are you willing to sacrifice to help your kid achieve what they want to achieve? And it's called investing. You put it in, you know, that's the only way you'll get something out. You got to put something in into your child. So I think that's huge. Great advice from Coach Ris right there. Y'all make sure y'all keep tuning in to Recruiting Biz with Coach Ris each and every Wednesday. We'll be breaking this down for you guys. Hopefully, we can answer a lot of questions. I see some moms in here. If you're a mom in the chat, put a mom in there. If you're a father in the chat, put a father in there. Let us know how you checking in, where you're checking in from. Also, I know we got some people East Coast, West Coast, and worldwide. All right, so let's get to this. I think this might be one of our last questions, and it's going to be about summer camps. Do I have it on here? How important are college summer camps for these student athletes to attend? Um, you can expound on that. I can tell you myself, I don't think I would have had a chance to go to a Division I college had I not really put together my own highlight tape and went to those camps. I went to a Georgia camp, got offered, went to an Auburn camp, got offered, went to a Troy State camp, got offered. But all these camps put me on the map. These coaches talk, and there are other scouts there watching the camps. They know who's there getting the attention and doing their thing. So, how important are college camps for these guys nowadays, Coach Riz?
College camps are very important. Um, it's almost we're almost at a time where if you don't go to college camps, you probably won't receive a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
You have some kids who have a whole bunch of offers, but they still have to go camp to make those offers committable. They still have to go camp. College coaches, they want to see you in person. They want to verify your height. They want to verify your weight. They want to they want to get a feel for your personality
Yeah.
to make sure that you'll fit into their room, that you'll fit into the locker room. But I think the biggest thing is they want to see you compete. They want to see you compete in
Mm-hmm.
person. There's no better evaluation than an in-person evaluation.
Right.
There are things in person that we can see that we can't see on that tape, on that film, that we can't see. We can't see how coachable you are. At those camps, you're going to be put in uncomfortable situations. And college coaches want to see how you respond.
Mm-hmm.
At those camps, you're going to be coached hard. We want to see if you can take coaching. So those college camps are real important. It's more like doing a job interview. If you do a job interview over the phone, you don't really know who you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know. But if you do a job interview in person, when you go sit in that room in your shirt and tie and sit face to face, you kind of know who you get a better idea of who you're getting versus over the phone. So college camps, they are very important. Don't think they aren't. Parents, get your kids to these camps. There are numerous ways to get kids to these camps. I know they have bus tours that go to like my friend AG Wasim. He has a bus tour going on where for $700 your kid is gone for 8 days and they'll visit 7 colleges.
Mm.
So and I was telling somebody last night, it may sound like a lot of money, but I
That's a
asked the question just before. I just asked the question, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? $700 sounds like a lot of money, but to get in front of 7 colleges, 7 college football staffs in 8 days, that's pretty cheap.
yes,
So
indeed.
it is. So parents, get your kids to these camps. Don't take them for granted. Don't sit around when it comes around to his senior year and you're wondering why he's not being recruited.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times because he hasn't went to camp.
Yes,
So
camps.
um, also on the flip side, I'll say this: you have to kind of be realistic also on which camps you should attend. If you're not a Florida State guy, if you're not an Auburn guy, if you're not a Tennessee guy, I won't say don't go to those camps. If you're a family that does well for themselves, you can send your kids to those camps because they will learn some stuff that they can take back to put into their own game. Now
Mm-hmm.
that they will. But if you're a struggling family and you know your kid is not a Power Five kid, there's no need to go to these camps because that won't change. That won't change anything now. It just won't. But if you're a Power Five kid and you have interest from um, Texas A&M or whatever school you have interest from, I don't want to call out names because you know what I do.
Yeah,
So but whatever schools you have interest from, you want to go camp at those schools.
most definitely. And if you're a small town kid, and like you say, you might not have a lot of income with your parents. What are some ways you maybe can get innovative to raise some money to be able to go to some of these camps?
Well, there's so many ways to raise money these days. We all know about GoFundMe.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure everybody that's on this live and everybody whose kid plays football, they have a supporting cast, they have friends, they have coworkers, and it'll be people that you don't even know that would donate to the cause because they want to see your kid do something positive. So
Yep.
they have GoFundMe. But I think the most popular way and the easiest way is a raffle.
Mm.
So you can take $100, $150, go buy a television, right? Go buy a television,
Yep.
sell $10 raffle tickets.
Yep.
I guarantee you'll get the money for the camp that you're looking for. Because everybody wants something that costs $150 for $10.
Right.
So I think those two ways are two great ways to do it. You know, or you can take it old school, have a car wash.
Hey, I was waiting on it.
Go
I
old
was just
school,
take it
have
to
a
the old.
car wash. Go old school, have a fish fry. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can do to gather that money up. It doesn't necessarily have to come out of your bills.
Right.
We all know the economy is not great right now. We all know that everybody doesn't do well financially and they live check to check, trying to pay bills. But don't let that stop you from giving your kid the best opportunity that they can get to achieve their goal of receiving a college scholarship. It
Right.
goes back to what I said before. What are you willing to sacrifice?
And you're gonna have to be willing to sacrifice something. To go back on that $700 deal for 7 colleges, um, who's doing that? Do you know who exactly is doing that?
Uh, AG Wasim, I'm not sure what name he's doing it under. Uh, but it's a college tour. It's out of Orlando, but it's for anybody. It's for
Mm.
anybody. So I'll find out more information about it, and we'll talk about it on our next show.
Okay, that'll be big right there. $700 for 7 colleges in 8 days, and you're taking these kids around. I'm sure you're having to feed them and lodge them into a hotel or whatever. That's a huge deal right there. And for small town guys or lower income families, there's many ways to do it. As Coach Ris broke it down, you can ask for it. You can don't. You can start GoFundmes. You can do something as simple as, what are you willing to do? You can go DoorDash. Do a DoorDash. Do Uber Eats. You can get some money up. It's ways to do it. Ask for donations, but just think about and be creative to find ways to get that money up, because, like Coach Ria said, be probably more people willing to help you than you even know. You just got to reach out and put it out there. So uh, last thing we'll go to is our chat comments and questions. So go ahead, get them in right now. If you've been listening this long, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. If you don't know, y'all can go check out the BOB Apparel, Brown owned billionaires. Check them out right now if you haven't already. You saw them last show. This is for all CU fans, although this is for everybody out there, but this is for CU fans looking for another outlet to get custom gear. Go shop with BOB Brown owned billionaires. What's in it for you? You'll be representing in style. And what's in it for the Colorado Buffaloes? 10% of all sales on this site goes to Colorado University to help with pay tuitions for walk-ons and favorites that's putting in the work. But it's not enough scholarships to go around. So there's more to choose from on the website, but these are the top 3 sellers: offense versus defense, spring game edition, and down with CUB. Go check it out, and we'll see you there on the website, brownownbillionaires.myspreadshop.com. Check them out and get you some. All right. We already talked about what the parents can do. Chat comments and questions are up right now. We have some start, so I'll get to them right quick if we have some that we didn't answer already. What is your opinion on camps? We got to that one. I said, teach Coach Ris, teach. These are the comments and questions. So we clicking on all of them. I still remember my young days in South Africa and Greece. We never get multiple choice exams. They have you formulate your own answers. I used to. Okay, where are the chat questions? Oh, there it is. I'm clicking on the wrong one. Coach, I got a question. Is Twitter a good platform? You answered that one earlier. Andre Bradford said, before you're good on the grass, you have to be good. Got to be great in the class. That's facts. Uh, what if a player's field IQ is stronger than their natural talent? Good question right there. Is there something you can talk about right there, Coach Ris? What is a player's field IQ is stronger than their natural talent? So I think they're talking about one of these guys that might not be super athletic, but he's a heady guy, smart guy. What can you say about that, Coach Ris?
There's a lot of guys who weren't as talented as others, but they were smart. Um, there's a few positions that 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 fits, and linebacker is one. As a linebacker, if I have the IQ, I can line everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy that's in front, that's more talented than me, you know, he may be more talented, but he may not be as smart. As smart, he may not be able to line everybody up. He may not pick up the whole playbook. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of guys who are playing over guys who are more talented in college because of their IQ. And that look, it's kind of common for that to happen. It is because college playbook in some systems, man, you have a thick playbook. Everybody can't retain that information.
Right.
So that's a great question, but it is common for that to happen where a guy who's smarter than the guy who is more talented and the smarter kid actually plays. So and something just to go along with that. Also, there are a lot of talented guys in college who don't do the little things right.
Right.
And when I say do the little things right, I'm talking about being on time, um, not missing study hall, not missing class, things of that nature. And the guy who's less talented but does everything right plays over the guy who has all the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people this is one of the things that my good friend AC Carter likes to say is talent is not enough. Talent is not enough. So if you can't grasp that playbook or you won't do the right things, the little things, your talent won't get you on that field.
And what's the old saying? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right?
Always.
Always. All right. One of the last ones we have is Jermaine King says the difference in being a 3-star or a 4-star can be linked back to what camps did you attend. Is that true?
That's true. It is. Um, I don't talk against the guys that run these camps and give these stars. I don't. But a lot of these camps you go to and that you don't go to can be the difference between you being bumped up a star. It can. So that's why we talked about this whole segment about attend those camps. Attend those camps. Also, another thing that can stop you from being a 3 or 4 star or whatever star, or even a 5 star, is the way that you perform at those camps.
Yeah.
So if they're running 40 and doing shuttle drills and L drills, you better prepare and train for those drills. Because if you go there and you don't perform well, those same results get shipped out to all the colleges across the country.
So you're doing a disservice to yourself if you're going to these camps and you're not prepared.
Right.
Same way you think you're going to a job interview, but you're not coming in there looking the part. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. You didn't practice in the mirror. Hey, my name is, and you going in there. Oh, my name is, and you don't know how to speak. You got to be prepared, man. Prepare yourself and go in there and do what you're supposed to do, man. From the jump. All right. I wanted to highlight this one right here from Travis Dixon, who said, I live in Chipley, Florida. I think that's the 14-year-old we had on here who's listening in. Glad
Yeah.
that you are listening in, fella. Uh, Chipley, Florida. I wanted to shout out to my boy TJ Simmons, my boy Blake, who
Man,
came from.
hold on, bit dog. You know TJ Simmons?
Of course.
Man,
That's
look, me and TJ Simmons play arena football together.
okay.
So I'm an hour away from Chipley in Tallahassee. Also, I coached a number of guys from Chipley, Kelvin Dean, Malik Franklin, Xavier Sorey, Quavo Sorey. Uh,
Yeah.
Chipley, Florida is a talent-rich little town now.
Talent rich town.
Talent-rich. So um, you can make it from Chipley, Trail. You can make it from right there. I guarantee you that. And it's been done. It's been proven. And as a matter of fact, Atlanta Hawks point guard Trent Forrest, who's a friend of mine also,
Mm,
he's from Chipley, Florida.
nice.
So it's a talent-rich area. Just continue to take care of those grades, man, and you'll be seen.
Most definitely. Hey, I knew I got a heavy dose of the 850 up in
Yeah,
college at UAB with Blake up there, man. Blake
yeah.
used to come that
I
box
bet
chef.
you did. I bet you did too. I bet you did, boy. Great day. I
You
bet you
already
did.
know. That's work.
Yeah,
That's a character right there to this day. I
yeah.
bet you. Yeah, man. So shouts out to Black, shouts out to Bernard Anderson from Florida, and my guy Kenny
Man, hold
Borders.
on, hold on, man. Hold on, we gotta stop now.
I call us
Man,
some names.
Bernard Anderson, one of my childhood friends.
Oh man, dog.
Man, we played against each other. We played against each other in little league, high school, all the way through. That's my guy.
BA, my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little bit older than me. I think he was a senior when I came in, senior or a junior when I came in. But yeah, a bunch of Florida boys, man. Them Florida boys are different. I see why Coach Prime goes after them. That was my first time witnessing people run and talk back to the coach in a way of, this ain't hurting nobody, coach. And we in the back, hey man, when y'all tell them Florida boys to be quiet,
Yeah.
it was nothing for them. So, hey man, much love. So you can definitely make it out of there, Travis, and everybody else in the chat. We appreciate you guys checking in. Wait, I know TJ, that's my cousin. Look there. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now Chipley, look, Chipley, small town. Everybody know each other or they related.
Wow. The
Yeah.
size of the school affect you getting noticed. Last question on us. We got a few minutes left. Last question, Coach Ris. Does the size of your school affect you getting recruited?
Just being honest, it can, but the same thing we talked about in this segment. I don't care where you're from. If you go to the college camps and you put on good enough, I guarantee you, the college coaches they will follow you to that small school.
Yep. There you go. So put on at these camps. Go to these camps. Put on. Get you a highlight film done, and put your best plays at the beginning without any music. Get you a cover page or whatever with your height, weight, name, and where you're from on there, and go on. But we have a lot of questions in the chat that we'll make sure I take note of and get to on our next show, as we will be doing this each and every week, because we have a lot of things to cover in this recruiting biz that's ever changing now, with the NIL deals and with a lot of these high school players not getting the opportunity because of the transfer portal. So a lot of things that we could talk about. Coach Ris, any last words for everybody out there?
For all the parents, athletes, and high school coaches, uh, be sure to tune in to our show. There'll be a lot of free information that will be beneficial to you as a high school coach, to you as a parent, or to you as an athlete.
Most definitely.
There's very seldom that guys give out. Well, there's very seldom that anything is free in this world these days.
Mm-hmm.
This is free information that will help you. That will help you through this recruiting journey.
Yeah. And like myself, I came from a smaller school, and I'll share this with you real quick. I came from a smaller school where guys in front of me wasn't really worried about getting recruited. Luckily, shouts out to Reggie Glover, who I told you about last time. He was getting recruited, but ended up going to Alabama State, which a lot of our guys did because our coaches came from Alabama State. I wanted to do something different and go to a better school. So I started going to these camps, like I said, got offered and got recruited, ended up deciding to go to UAB, but all that stuff would have never happened had it not came from these camps. And then with me getting recruited, it led to Ben Obamanu getting recruited. He ended up going to Auburn and playing with the Seattle Seahawks. From there, Jay Miller got recruited. He ended up going to Stanford and then playing in minor league baseball, and then eventually playing at Alabama. So, and other a host of guys who I'm not naming, but the point is, you can help yourself and your team and teammates and friends by going to these camps and putting on and getting recruited yourself. So that's our show for today. Hope we didn't talk your ear off. Hope we gave you some valuable information on here. And if you want to get yourself an ad or a sponsorship on this show, y'all can see what to do right there. Hit up myself or Coach Ris. But I know Coach Ris is busy, so y'all hit us up right here on these numbers and email, and we'll get back to you with all we can. All right. So appreciate you, Coach Ris, once again, man. We're going to talk offline to talk about some of these people that we know
Yes, sir.
mutually, and
Yes, sir.
and continue to put out this good information for everybody out there. Thank you guys for coming out once again. God bless you, and good night. Oh, one love. So we are still on. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Great show. Laura, just check it in. Y'all see all the topics right there. Make sure y'all replay this and get back on it. Share it with someone. Share it with someone right now. Share it with someone. If you haven't shared it yet, go ahead, share, hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. We up and about here. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.